Scott, I got a question for you.
What's that?
What is the most versatile bourbon out there?
That is a very good question.
Today, we're going to find out. Well, we'll attempt to.
This is Versus, a year-long battle between Arthur and I to see who's the ultimate Artfully Bourbon champion. Let's go. Shout out to our newest patron, Devin Ferguson. Thanks for joining the Artfully Bourbon community.
Here's how it's going to work. We each will head to a store of our choice and pick up what we think is the most versatile bourbon out there. When we get back to the studio, first, we're going to blind taste them neat. Then we'll see how they hold up in a classic cocktail. And finally, we'll factor in price for the all-important value point. 3 categories, 3 points are up for grabs. Scott, just to clarify, you can pick any bourbon, rye, or American whiskey that you think is going to be a winner today.
Any price.
Any price. But remember, value gets a point. Whoever wins the most points in this challenge will get 1 point to add to the leaderboard. 1 point closer to that versus crown. Whose whiskey will reign as most versatile?
Let the battle begin.
All right, heading to the store. Peace out.
Peace.
Today, we are at a brand new store. This is Macadoodles, and we're gonna go inside and see what we can find. Let's go.
Here at Friar Tuck, they usually have a pretty good selection, lots of bottles, lots of options. Let's go check it out.
Here we are, we're in the bourbon aisle. American whiskey, some rye. I want something that's a little higher proof. Let's look for something that's 100 proof or more. That's still a good value. We have Ben Holiday, soft red wheat, rickhouse proof. $70 though. I don't know if it'll fit the value. We have the Bottle and Bond 100 proof. It's a little cheaper, $54, $55. And soft red wheat, maybe a little sweeter. In the cocktail, $50. That's actually a pretty good deal. Let's see what else we can find.
I think I need something that is going to be more of a wider appeal, something that's going to stand out in all 3 categories and as a good value. So I think bourbon is probably going to be the way to go for my pick. The new Four Roses, the single barrel collection. This is a good one, but using the lower rye in the mash bill is probably going to be a little less bold for a cocktail. $43, decent price, but not sure if it's going to be the best value that I can find. When I think of value, this is the brand that comes to mind. Probably not this particular bottle, but Old Grandad, high rye mash bill. That's the direction I need to be looking at. High rye is going to make for the best, most flavorful cocktail, in my opinion.
I think I gotta find something a little more value-centric to win this thing. Here's a contender, Heaven Hill. Bottle and Bond, 100 proof, a little more flavor with that higher proof. It's a good price, $42. Speaking of Bottle and Bond, here's a bonded Jack Daniels. This one is a 1 liter for $41. Your perfect neat pour and perfect in a cocktail. Special on the New Riff single barrel. This one is 112 proof, $50. We also have the Uncle Nearest, 1856, $55. Baker 7. And a cocktail, I get a little more peanut flavor. I don't know if that's what I'm looking for in the cocktail. Might throw the flavor off. So this is 107 proof. Could be an option. It's $60. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. Larceny. Weeded. Here we go. Barrel proof, 125. Oh my gosh, $70. Old Ezra, $80. Rye. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This is barrel proof, so higher proof, excellent neat. It would be excellent in a cocktail.
$47. Rare Breed Cask Strength 116.8. Wild Turkey Mash Bill, very bold flavors. $47. It's borderline. Here's a popular one. Wild Turkey 101. I feel like that might be a little safer on the pick. Maybe not for a neat pour. You really can't go wrong with the Knob Creek Old Fashioned. Feel really good about making a cocktail with this. Got lots of proof, 100 proof on these. Oh, how about this? Green River Full Proof. Probably make a banger cocktail. Probably gonna compete for the neat pour. But I'd be giving up on the value because it is $52. So do I want to give up on value? I don't know. Have to think about that. Found a Jim Beam single barrel, 108 proof, $30 bottle. Keep this one in mind. This one could be interesting. So Maker's 101. The Maker's Cask Strength is one of Arthur's favorites. 101 proof, so I think that would hold up well in a cocktail, although it is a wheated. Priced at $38, so higher end of this value part of the challenge. This one I am going to keep in mind. We got a classic value bottle right here. Old Forester, 100 proof. Everything about this bottle I love. I love the Brown Forman mash bill. I love the 100 proof on this, and I love the price. $25, so this one could definitely compete in this competition.
Could try a double oak. This is $57. Not a high enough proof, though, for what I'm looking for. Only 90.4 proof. If you like, dessert cocktail, this would be a good one. Redwood Empire. This is a good one at just $32. I need a little higher proof. All right, I think I have what I'm gonna select. Let's go check out. Yes, so this is, I'm gonna say take all 3 points. Pretty confident.
Okay, I think I found my winner. Let's go check out and get this poured up. Let's go. This one, easily gonna win this competition. I'm back.
You think that's a winner?
Oh yeah, you're gonna love what's in this bag.
Let's pour them up and blind them neat.
These two in the middle. Ready to go?
Ready.
All right, first, special thank you to the Artfully Bourbon support group for mixing this blind up for us. Glass A.
Glass A.
Here we go. Aroma.
This is a champion right here.
Got a good bit of fruit on the nose. I do like the fruit.
Kind of reminds me of Four Roses. Well, it smells nice. A little oak, maybe a little caramel.
I get the oak, the caramel. Nice bold aroma.
Bold. Want to say it's probably a bourbon, rye mash bill.
You get some rice spice. I do think it is a bourbon though.
The ethanol and kind of spice.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's try it. Here we go.
It's pretty good.
It's got a good hug.
Yeah.
More of that rice spice.
Rice spice.
A little more fruit from the nose.
It has to be a higher proof, I think.
I'd say it's above 100. I don't know how much, but I would say this is somewhere in the
It's got
100 to 110 range.
Yeah. I don't get a whole lot of flavor on the palate though. Kind of one note or 2 notes.
I give it 2.
And some rye spice.
Maybe a little touch of like a dessert sweetness, but not too much. But I would mainly say yes, fruit. I would say a little bit of that rice spice. Mm-hmm. Good hug.
It is bold. I'll give it that.
It's bold. Got a average finish. It's got a really nice that warmth when you
still lingering.
Yeah,
lingering nicely. I like that. So
yeah,
let's try B.
All right, glass B aroma. Here we go.
This is a little different. It's a little floral.
Oh yeah,
you get flowers.
I get floral. I get oak. This smells
They're both kind of fruity on the nose.
This has a wider range of notes coming off the nose.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing it doesn't have that Glass A had was a little more of that proofier smell to it. It's got more of a less of an ethanol on the nose.
It does. You don't get the rye spice or whatever the ethanol was on Glass A.
But it smells like it has maybe a pretty good age, for what it is. I don't know if it's an expensive. I wouldn't think it would be an expensive bourbon.
It's got some depth.
It's got some depth, right? So it just smells like it might be a little more mature.
Mm-hmm. It's like kind of graham cracker or grainy note a little bit.
Yeah. Very good nose. Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Okay. Where Glass A was a little more fruit forward, this is a little more caramel sweet forward.
I get more transition. Like, and there's a little spice on the end.
Yeah, a little bit of a spice.
That one is just kind of fruit and then bold spice, and that was it.
It's a little less punchy, a little less bold, but it's more complex. It's got more flavors in it.
Yeah, I mean,
let's say
caramel.
There's things I love about both, and there's things that I think could be better with both.
Yeah, caramel, vanilla, but there is some spice on the end, and it's still lingering. All right, my rankings are in. Let's see if my pick can take this first point.
Okay, so let's just do a 1, 2, 3, and then raise your winner.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, it's like a bear claw. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right. So Glass B wins the Neat blind.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this one had a little more complexity for me. I think they're both good.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was neck and neck. Definitely differences between these two. And like I said, I do believe Glass A, a little bit bolder, a little spicier, but I love the different notes that I was getting on this one. But I'm not sure, how it's going to hold up in a cocktail.
Well, only one way to find out.
All right.
Let's get to the cocktails. They're all mixed up. Again, thank you for the Artfully Bourbon support group. This is where versatility really shines. A bourbon that can handle a cocktail is a true winner.
All right, Glass
Try
A.
these. I love a good cocktail.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, old fashions are great because the whiskey is the star of the show. It's supposed to really make it come to the front, really shine.
Yeah.
So how do you think the whiskey shines in Glass A?
I think it's good. It's smooth, I would say. I don't get a whole lot of heat at all.
Yeah, that was my first impression. I didn't really feel like the whiskey stood out in this as much as maybe it could have that I've had in old fashions in the past. You get some of that flavor that's coming through, but it's a little bit dominated by those additional flavors in the cocktail that I think those really come to the forefront.
I'd say it's balanced.
You think it's okay?
Yeah. I mean, what you said was like kind of what I'm thinking, but in a good way. It just has that consistent flavor profile. Nothing like really spikes like a sharp rye spice or heavy heat. It's just kind of all smooth.
Yeah, I would probably look at this as more of maybe a non-whiskey enthusiast cocktail. This one probably is more balanced, something that they might be looking for. Not necessarily someone who drinks a lot of whiskey neat by itself. I mean, it's 4 different flavors.
It's a good, smooth cocktail.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try B. Trial B. Here we go.
All right. See how this one compares.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. A little sharper, a little bolder on the palate. It wasn't just a good smooth pour. It was you could taste some of that proof.
Yeah.
You know, it stood out. It held its own, but I think it was maybe a little more pronounced from the bourbon end and not necessarily the other ingredients. And so while this one drank a little smoother, so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. This was a little more whiskey forward.
Yeah, I feel like you could taste it a little more. And Class A is a little sweeter.
Yes.
Class B is a little drier. Like it just has a little bit of a, like my mouth's kind of dry now.
Yeah.
I want another sip, but kind of dries your mouth out. I do get a little more complexity in this one. Class A was like smooth and level and just nice flavor all the way throughout. Class B, there's a little more spikes and flavor. I would say like this tastes more like a rye to me than a bourbon.
Okay. I didn't really get any rye notes, a rye flavor. I didn't really get that in the Neat Pour, so that's why I'm thinking that they're probably both bourbons. But
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying like this.
But I think you're right though. If I didn't know, if I didn't do the Neat first, I might think that this, like you're saying, is a rye.
So it's a little, I'd say a little more earthy. This one's very subtle, fruity, floral. All right, you ready to announce your winner?
Yeah, I think I am. You want to do this the same way?
Yeah, sure.
Do
the claw.
The bear claw. Here we go. Bear claw ready. Activated on 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I like a little more heavy rye notes.
Yeah.
The bourbon or rye, whatever's in here, like spikes it up a little bit. Gives you some interesting flavors. Where this one was like, it was nice. It was like I said, it's balanced and just.
I look at this as two different types of whiskey drinkers right here. This would be a great cocktail to serve at a bar where you have a wide variety of patrons that are something that they can enjoy, that they can sip on. Whereas, this is more like a whiskey drinker's cocktail to me. Okay, well, let's set our winner up here with our winning Glen.
Our winners.
We got our two winners here.
All right, before we get into the final reveal of our bottles, let's take a look who won the first 2 rounds.
Okay, so our initials are on the bottom of the glasses.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start first with the Neat Pour.
Okay.
And let's see what an initial is on the bottom, shall we? One.
You look. Look.
Oh, go ahead, look. You do the other. Okay, I'll look. A. All right.
All right. So, cocktail.
Okay, you do the honors on the glass.
S.
Yes.
Dang, I thought I was going to get all 3 points today.
You're wrong. You may have only gotten 1.
Okay.
All right,
I
so
think I got 2. We'll see.
Right now it's currently 1-1. It's all coming down to price.
Oh boy. My bottle is HOLLADAY Soft Red Wheat Bottled and Bond. Beat that.
Woo! What's the MSRP on this?
$48. This is, I mean, it's 100 proof. This is what I was looking for, something that was higher proof. I didn't want to go too cheap. I just felt like more flavor, higher proof, would have got me all 3 of these, but unfortunately it did not.
All right, well, you ready to see my pick?
Yes.
The bottle that I chose today is...
Oh, man.
Old Granddad 114 with an MSRP $28.99.
Really?
That is my first point for the Versus scoreboard. You know what though? This competition, this year-long competition is far from over. It might be 1-1 right now, but this is a marathon, not a sprint. So join us next time as we take on another bourbon challenge.
Who will take the next point in our year-long competition? Probably me, but you should subscribe and find out for yourself.
What whiskey would you have picked as the most versatile value? Leave us a comment below.
Cheers to sharing versatile bourbon and cocktails. Thanks for watching.
Until next time,
Enjoy responsibly.
peace.
Peace.
Cheers.
Cheers.
1-1. How you like them apples?
Dang. I kind of